Pretty mixed results across the board, I see. Fairly mixed results across the board. How we doing? Welcome in. Okay. I believe that's everything. Let's go. Oh, bye, camera. Ooh, close. You telling me that you were handicapped at the time, Billy, and you still got first? Hell yeah. Hi, Slink. How you doing? You're lost in Procopia, so you feel like a 20, but you'll take a 16. When you say lost in Procopia, as in you are so enamored with the game that you just you've lost yourself to it, or are you lost in Procopia as in like, where the freak do I need to go next? I've got no idea where I am. Be back, yeah, do what you gotta do, bud. First one? Yeah, okay. No, that makes sense. I've heard that it's really charming. I've heard that it's really, really, really charming. Chilling, playing Ark? Nice. Hi, Pretender, how you doing? Hi, Strider, hi, welcome. The plan for today is... Hi. The plan for today is chill stream. Super chill stream. I'm going to be a little bit quiet because sleep was rough. Sleep was rough. It was so hot last night. I got about 2 hours of sleep, then woke up, couldn't get to sleep for like 5 hours, got another 2 hours of sleep, couldn't get to sleep for another 3 hours. It was awful. So I'm a little bit spun cycled at the moment. World building Wednesday possibly. Just chill. Hope I'm feeling okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Like I can't actually complain. Like all things considered, I'm fine. I recognize that I'll be a little bit slow today, so I'll play with what cards I've got in my hand. Be able to look at the Ark Quest without redeeming it. You can redeem it, Slink, and then if you deny it, it will refund it. So you won't have lost points. Does that make sense? You'll be in and out of chat, playing Siege with friends. Yeah, all good. Do what you gotta do. Enjoy. With Procopia, you put in over 50 hours in 3 days. Wow. Oh yeah. Thinking of doing a little bit of arting? Nice. Anything in particular, or you've just got the urge and now you're going to kind of explore a little bit? Let's have a look at the quest, shall we, Slink? Shall we have a look? Quill the Owl is wanting a wacky portrait of themselves. Choose at least one challenge. Style, cave painting. Technique, pick 2 contrasting colors. Or detail, make the lighting come from above. What do we reckon? Does that sound doable? And if so, which of the 3 challenges would you like to do? This is tough. I mean, if it's difficult and you don't feel like you're up for the challenge, that's all good. No stress. Sounds doable? Hell yes. Okay. What would you like to do? Have a specific idea in mind, but you think it's going to be more complicated than you anticipate? Well, I know one way to start. I mean, you could always start on the idea, and if you find that there are complications to it, you can take a step back and be like, okay, I need to figure out how I do hair. I need to figure out how I do hair. So you take a break, you go figure out hair for a little bit, do a couple of like studies and practice bits, whatever. Then you come back to it and you're like, okay, now we do the hair. Well, I don't know how like arm proportions work. And say, okay, well, step aside for a second, be like, okay, well, let's figure out how arms work. Study, and then give it another go. You might go primal art style. Seems fitting with you. Okay. Hell yeah. You say style out loud, and as soon as you do, the quill wriggles to life, jots to the bottom of the page, fills in your name, and sends you on your way. Good luck. Good luck. Hi, Paradox. Sorry, I did miss your name before. How you doing? Welcome. Cave painted quill is cool. Yeah, I'm excited. That was cool. Yeah, well, the tavern occasionally gets quests. They're not always available, but when they are, well, one, they announce themselves pretty loudly, but two, you'll see them above my head here to the right. Doing good, working on a project that is killing more than one bird with one stone. Nice. Just a heads up, Paradox, today my head is mush. I probably won't be able to help out with idea generation stuff. But if you do want my opinion on stuff, you can always post to the critique channel. I'll get back to it when I've had some sleep. I'll get back to it when I get some sleep. What kind of owl is Quill? I believe the term is horned owl. I believe he's a horned owl. Did I see a little goober? I have. I like a lot. I saw the original, I saw the reinterpreted line work, I saw the initial color pass, and then I saw you working on it a little bit this afternoon. So the cool one? Yeah, seemingly so. Need to find all your childhood school notebooks using your accumulation of odd crafting materials and recyclable stuff. Ah, yeah, okay. As you're saying, like, more than one bird. But yeah, Strata, as I was saying, you can always approach it in little chunks. If you determine that the challenge is more difficult than what you're capable of at the moment, you can take it one step at a time. She was an elf pretending to be a goblin, but you think at that point she's just a tiefling? I wouldn't say that tieflings are elves pretending to be goblins. I'd say there's a distinct difference. You're afraid of failure, often stops you from even trying. That's fair. That's fair. The method that I use to push through is this idea of it not being the final version. If you consider it, like, for example, this piece that I'm working on right now, this piece that I'm working on right now is like a big important piece that I kind of have to execute on. So I'm gonna keep persevering with this, and there's a lot of like tension involved in it and stuff, like, geez, I gotta get it right. But if it were any other piece except this one, I would take it a little bit more easy. I would be exploratory with it. It's like, okay, what can I sort of get from it? Like, what kind of imagery can I produce from this idea that I've got? And if it doesn't go well, then I just go, okay, I'll move on to something else. And I can always leave it for another time, attempt, you know, in the future sometime. Hi, Miz. How you doing, bud? You drew squid? Hell yeah. See, you're doing incredibly well by the sounds of things. You draw squid. I draw rock. And then I beat my chest. Like the caveman that I am. Honestly, for today, I'd be quite happy to just get this pile of rocks in the corner into a good space, into a good spot, I think. I've figured out how I want to go about it, but I'm still not very good at it. So it's going to take a little bit. I need to break up the rock into smaller chunks. And that's a skill that I'm not adept at. Not adept at all. I always struggle with like depicted randomness. I always try and find the pattern in it, and it kind of ruins the attempt, you know. Am I sharing the Discord? Yeah, please do. Okay. What if I turn this into a plane here? Marley, that's not a plane. That's a boulder. Correct, it is. Well done. Well done. Well caught. You got me. I've been had. Pointed out to you that it's kind of phallic. Can't unsee it now, but it's just a squid, you promise? Okay, I'll take your word for it. It's a lot of explaining, Miz. Makes me think that you're kind of guilty in the Freudian way, you know? That's not a boulder, it's a rock? A rock? No. No, okay. Miz, this is a rock. This is a rock. This is a boulder. This is a rock. This is a boulder, okay? They're very similar, but one is distinctly different from the other. Can you tell that I've been stuck on boulders for a little bit? The insanity has started to set in. I'm a little bit proud of myself. Is a strange thing to say, but I'll explain. I'm a little bit proud of myself because sleep last night was horrendous. I promise this is going somewhere. Sleep last night was horrendous. It was absolutely awful. Some of the worst sleep that I've ever had. But I didn't lose hope in the process and did eventually get myself back to sleep. As of late, whenever I've had sleep to this degree of terrible, I've kind of given up and like done other stuff, and then my sleep has been absolutely fully wrecked. Whereas on this particular occasion, not the case, and it is now salvageable tonight, given that I didn't, you know, stay up until like 10 a.m. My damage control was on point, somewhat. Famous rock eyebrow and Mahali artistry was not in your finger card. A gift from me to you. Your sleep has been 3 a.m. for the last 6 or 7 days? Yeah, yep. That's kind of the camp that I'm in at the moment. Exasperated is when, if I'm like dejected and upset. Exasperated. That's exasperated. Exacerbated is when something is kind of prolonged and made worse. The thing that has exacerbated my sleep, my terrible sleep, has been the heat. I woke up in the middle of the night last night, 1:30 or something, and I was so uncomfortable. You know, the feeling of, I've complained about this many a time. Scratch it on the bingo card. You know that feeling, that sensation of not being able to find any sort of heat reprieve? I tried everything. I tried like submersing my feet in cold water, like drying them off and then going to bed to see if like the shift in temperature on my feet would help to like help with that feeling of like cooling my entire body off, because that sometimes helps. It did not. I tried getting an ice pack out of the freezer and putting it on my feet, like putting the ice pack on my feet to try and cool down my body. The thing is, you'd be like, oh, but Mahali, why are you doing that? If your whole body is warm, why are you trying to cool off your feet? Don't worry, there's logic to that. Don't worry, I won't explain. The problem was that even my feet were not cooling down in the process, which was the absolutely bonkers thing. Have I tried doing the ice pack on the kidney area? No, I haven't tried that before. People go to sleep before 3 a.m. Maze, no. The thing is, I've got things that I need to do in the mornings. So like, for example, there was stuff to do with the new place that I'm moving into this morning that I had to juggle. So I needed to be up early. So I needed to go to sleep early so I could be up early. Whole thing. When that happens, you take a cold shower and ice bath. Well, that's the thing, is I took a shower before I went to bed, and usually that does it for me. I suppose it might be like a little bit wasteful water-wise, but we make up for it in reinforced mental health. If I experience that again, if I wake up at 1:30 or whatever, I could always try going for a cold shower again. And then, because I've just changed into those clothes, I can just change back into the clothes that I was just in, right? Back into the pajamas. Shouldn't be an issue. Sorry, just running through the logic in my head. Yeah, Or Fields could run the bath for me. Fields, can you... Wait, Fields, no. Lower back or anywhere where in the very heavy blood circulation, so the cool feeling goes through everything. Oh, yeah, okay. So it's, yeah. Well, that was part of like the ice pack on the feet thing, is because apparently as blood circulates to the extremities of your body, as it like rushes back through, it kind of does a pass through. Is part of it, I think. I can't remember the logic for feet, actually. It's not that way as well. Yeah, it's not like I'm running a bath, right? Plus, it's not like I'm a power plant or something. It's not me, Mahali, single-handedly draining a lake. All clean. Squeaky clean. Squeaky clean. Thanks, bud. Talking about water waste? I know, it's a whole Taverns where have almost no blood flow in your extremities, so you do like arterial veins or lower back. Oh, okay. So it might be, yeah, no, that's fair. I'm just speaking openly and plainly at the moment. I used to be a big Mahali. I'm now a little guy. I lost like a full person's worth of weight. So it could be the case that that my blood circulation's a little bit worse. Therefore, like the distribution of heat in my body is a bit whack at the moment, which could lead to me overheating at night, because it's like it's not going to my extremities properly. It's all kind of sitting in my core, and I'm becoming like a hot water balloon or something. You do MMA and Muay Thai, so ice baths are normal for you. It helps you destroying your muscles, specifically after sparring. Yeah. I don't do combat sports, but directly after bouldering, I hit myself with the ice pack, and then I take a cold shower after stream for the same reason. This helps with like healing and inflammation and stuff. To be out for reference on Mahali's. Yeah, true. Exactly. I'm like, people think of weight loss in the traditional sense. No. I shrunk. I became teeny tiny. Microscopic. My webcam is actually pointed to a microscope at the moment. I know. Everyone's nodding, taking notes. No. Do not take seriously anything Sleepy Mahali's saying right now. A laser microscope. Yeah. Sparring with an R. It was a mistype. Paradox. Sparring is where you pair up with another practitioner of whatever contact sport you do, and you exchange blows. It's practice. It's practice at karate or Muay Thai or Taekwondo or whatever it is, yeah. I used to do Taekwondo, actually. I got up to... I was a green belt with a blue tip. I was so proud of myself. Oh my God. I was so proud of myself because how the tip system works in Taekwondo is if you were particularly exceptional during your graduation from one belt color to another, you would get a little extra strip of color at the end of your belt. So going from white belt to yellow belt, I was a yellow belt with a green strip at the end. And then going from yellow belt to green belt, I was a green belt with a blue strip at the end, which meant that I absolutely aced it. And then I gave up because I was such a good student. Martial arts are fun though. Like, I couldn't see myself getting back into them nowadays because it kind of occupies the same spot as bouldering, I feel. But there's some joy to be had. It's also quite inherently social as well. Like you get to know a lot of people kind of at the same spot as you, depending. Like if it's If it's a martial art group that just does like, if you're white belts, you're all together. So it's all the kids and the adult white belts all standing in the corner awkwardly. If it's that, okay, maybe that's a bit awkward. But most martial arts gyms tend to do like child groups and adult groups. So I'd imagine that if I didn't have bouldering in my life, I could absolutely do a bit of like karate or something. It'd be fun. Sometimes the fixation moves on. I guess it's less to do with like I wasn't fixated on it in particular. It was more that was a period of time where I was kind of floating from like extracurricular activity to extracurricular activity, kind of looking for what little Mahali might be interested in, you know? Turns out he wasn't interested in Taekwondo at the time. Love martial arts. Helps you forget your problems and concentrate on the moment. Yeah, it's very good at like engaging with mindfulness. You can't sit there ruminating about what's going on at the time because you're about to get kicked in the head. Dark block. I don't know, and anything physical like that kind of keeps you in the moment quite well. You did it when you were a kid, loved it, but your family couldn't afford more than yellow belt amount of time, but it was fun. It's never too late. Like as I was saying, there are adult classes, which is quite popular. I'm a strong proponent of it is never too late to start Blink. I used to very much be of the mindset that like if you didn't start from birth at something, you're so far behind everybody else that there's no point in even trying. And it was a very pessimistic mindset. It is for you. Your body's falling apart. Maybe if they made a frail and elderly one. It's not that high. Like, it's not that high contact. Plus, some would be more physical than others, right? If you really didn't want to go into sparring and stuff, I could imagine that you'd be able to get to like green belt and then just practice practice your forms and stuff and not actually go into sparring. Barely stand for longer than 5 minutes without getting dizzy. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There'd be alternatives. Like, yoga feels adjacent in the sense that it's practiced forms, similar to martial art forms, but at like a take it at your own pace kind of pace. Excellent. Hi Shampoo, how you doing? Never too late. You're 34, started at 11, stopped at 17, 18, then restarted last year. Yeah. There will be circumstances that get in the way for sure. Like, I'm not so much of an optimist that I could just like cover my ears and go, oh, life doesn't exist. But lurk, yeah, do what you gotta do. Enjoy your lurk, Shampoo. Don't do yoga. There's so much strength. Maybe something in the water. Yeah, water aerobics is a thing, right? Did Pilates, got a similar rush, but it's very hard doing the basics after doing advanced. Yeah, that's fair. That feeling of regression. No, I get that. I get that. Like I struggle with that with art. If I take a break for a couple of months and then come back and I'm struggling with some of the basics, like rocks. Water helps let impact. Yeah, it does. It does. Less strenuous on the joints as well because you're not having to sustain your own weight as much. Basics are rocks. Rocks are so hard. Yeah, I would have considered them to be basic back in the day. My hubris. Tai Chi could be a thing also. Yeah, true. More sort of focused on forms, yeah. Took Taekwondo for a bit. No, this is late, but you have no excuse. No, you're good. You're fine. Welcome to the conversation. You're fine. I don't think I'd ever get into boxing. Because the amount of impacts that you're making at that point, I don't know, too much of a risk for me at least. Like it would be very much so a casual thing, so I wouldn't want to run the risk of like head injury and stuff like that. So yeah, like potentially like a Tai Chi or something could be fun. Always search rock faces for reference. You just get the eyebrow. I know, literally every time. It's like, one rock, please. And Google goes, here you go. Have a Dwayne. Enjoy Dwayne. Lay your eyes upon Dwayne. Just scream, not the face, really hard. Best self-defense mechanism ever. Not the face! Ooh, I should go like full on, what's the name of his face again? I should go like full Narcissus, approach. I should enter the ring, with a little personal mirror, kind of just admiring myself. So really give the impression that they would be upsetting me greatly if they were to punch me in the face. That would be effective, right? If you saw somebody with a little mirror for themselves, fawning over their own appearance, wouldn't you be like, I wouldn't want to mess up his day? They'd feel sorry for me, surely. Go into a little ball, yelled it, and it will confuse the opponent. Then you do a leg sweep. Ooh, reverse card. I do like. Hi Jax, how you doing? Learn that if you look for chicken references, you have to type live chicken, or Google will give you cooked chicken. Yeah, that's a good point. I had one of those recently. What was it? I was looking for references for what was it? It was something. It was something. I can't remember what it was. It was like a specific tree or something that was named after a movie. Correction. Movie was named after a specific tree. So I typed in the thing and it came up with the movie screenshots instead. Google is lovely in that way. Hey there. No, you're good. You're good. Hope you're doing well. Okay, what if, hypothetically, we broke the top off of the rock like so, broke it into another section, What then? Hmm? What say you then, Rock? Huh? How does that make you feel? I think it would affect my bottom line when it comes to my international box offers. No, wrong Rock's opinion. I need sleep. 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 Get sleep then. Yeah, I will. Like, it might end up being a shorter stream again today or something, but I need to wait until later tonight. If I go to sleep now, then my sleep will be stuffed still. Perhaps sleep. Rock's oversleep. That's what I'm saying. I got my priorities. No, I'm playing it up a little bit. I'm all good. I'm okay. I appreciate the concern though. Rocks beat sleep in rock, paper, scissors. Yeah. Rock, paper, sleep. Does it strangely look like a person reclining now? It kind of does. Wait. You've got like head. You've got head. Then they've got their little body. And they've got their little legs. Beautiful. Even my rock's telling me to go to sleep. True. It's subconscious. No, I do appreciate it. I do. I know for a fact though that if I try and go to sleep now, I'll wake up at like 1 or 2 again, and it'll just be rinse repeat. I'm better off staying awake for a little bit longer. Getting hit with a rock is a 50-50. That's a good point. Wallace and Gromit had it right. The going to sleep mechanism, which was just the hammer above the head. Hammer above the bed. Well, I suppose above the head too. Or is it Sandman in Mr. Sandman in Punch Out? Night. Maze, before where you were describing that you have a bit of a Pacopia problem at the moment. I haven't gotten Pacopia. I know it's the kind of game that I shouldn't get into. But I have been playing a little bit of Slay the Spire 2, and it's been an absolute treat. It's been glorious. Could wake me, could make me asleep. So maybe the bed is the deciding factor. That I wouldn't necessarily disregard. The bed's probably part of it. It was pointed out to me the other day, actually, that the sheets might be part of it, actually, for real, like memes aside. Because I believe them to be like at least partly nylon sheets. And then I've heard that cotton is a better alternative because it breathes more, it helps to regulate the heat more, blah blah blah. I don't know. I'm moving in like, I don't know, whenever the painting gets done. I'm moving after that. I'll get new sheets then. Do you have a friend who had to turn to linen sheets? Which you cannot imagine. Turn to linen? The other way around? Hi, Cannibal. How you doing? Welcome in. Hi. Should I go to this camera? Sorry, I look like a little bit of a corpse at the moment. Hi, welcome in. How'd you go? How's stream? What were you up to? League of Legends. Oh, dearie dear. Oh, no. So, how much of you has survived the stream? How much of you has survived League for today? Stream was good. You suspect most of the audience may have been asleep. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It gets a little bit like that. I personally take it as a compliment if people are relaxed enough to snooze in my in my company. But I hope you were doing well. Hope stream was good. Robsington O. Cooper. How you doing, bud? Do you mind if I just refer to you as Cooper? Is that cool? Been playing League since 2011. Oh, it's too late for you. I'm so sorry. It's terminal. There's no saving you at this point then. That's fine. How you doing? How's your week been so far? Know the feels. Lots of folks use mine to sleep. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Well past the point of returning. Yeah, that's okay. Mate. I'm not too knowledgeable when it comes to League, so I apologize if any of my conversation is cringy, but what do you enjoy playing as? What position, what lane do you occupy? Are you like a top laner? Are you a jungler? Are you a carry? God, it's awful. I can hear it out of my own mouth. You only do single lane map? Is that a thing? I didn't realize that was the thing. I thought it was only the 3-lane map. ARAM? I have no idea what that refers to, but yes, ARAM, question mark. Stopped playing the normal ranked a long time ago. Yeah, that's fair. Probably healthy, to be entirely honest with you. It's called ARAM. Got, you get a random champion. Hey, cool. All random, all mid. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So a little bit more of like a casual mode. When I say casual, I don't mean it in a bad way. Casual, I mean more in like a intended to have fun way. So take it as a compliment. That's cool. Very casual. Yeah, cool. I'd be down to try something like that, actually. League has always appeared to me as one of those games that you were either on the bandwagon when it was getting popular and you've had like decades of practice, or you attempt it new and you get absolutely nuked as soon as you walk in the front door. Narrow breeds, 2 teams choose random heroes, try to take down each other's towers. Yeah, okay. It reminds me of Blizzard has some modes akin to that where they're like off the main beaten path. Like Hearthstone has Arena, which is similar, where you get like a selection of random heroes. You kind of build your deck in the moment. You just kind of clash them against other people doing random stuff. Like Overwatch has stuff similar to that with like Stadium and things like that. Very, very casual, not ranked. Yeah, okay. People can have fun with League. That's what I'm saying. That's my. This is my revelation that I'm having now. Your keyboard didn't even want to type that word. Jeez, my heart. You actively disdain LOL. I have a friend who's very much so into it, so I don't think I'll ever be able to avoid it entirely. But I was never part of the group, you know, in the sense like I was never part of a friend group that played or anything like that. So never really had an opportunity to jump on. I believe I'm the type of person who would really, really enjoy League. But I say all of that, I would use it as my hyper focus, I feel, which is the unhealthy part. Like at the moment, like art and self-improvement is like the thing that I've built my life around. I feel like if I'd met League earlier, League could have become that, and I don't like that perspective branching timeline. I don't like that direction at all. So if you found a way to engage with League in a casual, more healthy way, that's excellent. That's awesome. It's a great way to have fun with some friends, not take things seriously. Hell yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Seen their similar setups? Yep. Hearthstone Arena, Heroes of the Storm had IRM. Yeah, like similar kinds of things. It's maybe not the exact same gameplay, but that same concept. Hi Josh, how you doing? Welcome. I loved the heart that you did before, Josh. It's so good. It's so good. Reminds me of some of the stop motion animation stuff from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, with like the beast of many voices or whatever, where they had to like animate the scene instead of being able to. Amazing vibe. Met your wife playing League using Discord back in 2016. Oh, that's cute. That's very cute. Gotta try to temp regulate and try to sleep. Jumped from like 30 Fahrenheit -1 to 25ish. Oh, yuck. No, bad. Yeah. Yeah, no, if you can find a way to regulate your temp after that, tell me your secret. I mean, you did earlier. Ice pack on the kidneys. I'll try that tonight. You would hate League, you know that? I think I'd like it. To be honest, because I really like Deadlock. With Deadlock, I'm waiting until it achieves kind of towards final polish. There are a couple of things with Deadlock that are holding me back from really putting some time into it. The key examples that I point out, if anybody asks, are one, the jungle creatures are all tie-over assets from when the game used to be a sci-fi setting. It just shatters my immersion completely, and I just don't enjoy looking at that visual. And then two, some of the player models, like some of the character models, are rough. They're rough. Let's be entirely honest. If anybody were to be like, but Harley, what are you talking about? All I'd have to say is Sinclair. And then my argument's made with the one word. I don't need to elaborate any further than that. Been a Blizzard fanboy since WoW Vanilla, almost 23 years ago. I wasn't that far back. I fell in love with Hearthstone for a while, and then kind of piggybacked from Hearthstone into Overwatch. Don't ask me how that took place. I can't explain it to you. The logic doesn't follow. But I've been a fan of Overwatch for almost a decade now. I feel like other people's hate for League is similar to your hate for WoW. No, that's fair. That's fair. Wait, like you kind of lose your life to it a little bit. Do you find it fun making strange creatures and mimics? Are great for that. They're fantastic for it, aren't they? Just being able to add like eyeballs and teeth and stuff to just random inanimate objects is always fun. Drawn a mimic carriage? I've not drawn a mimic carriage. I've drawn a mimic box of chocolates. I've drawn a mimic pencil. I've drawn... what else? Mimic other stuff. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. I've drawn a couple of mimic things. Speaking of bed, actually, I'll just float this. I'll float this. This is a gentle reminder that if it's getting late for you and you're feeling tired, I recommend maybe start winding down for bed. Let me be the cautionary tale, okay? Don't be like me. Get decent sleep. Lost your life to WoW when you were 11 years old? Oh, that's rough. What happened? Did you survive? Did I say pound an energy drink? Yeah, no, I believe that is actually word for word what I said. Just absolutely demolish an energy drink. No, it's not what I said at all. My words have been misconstrued. Never played WoW. Hi Tim, how you doing? Welcome in. Sorry, that sounded dismissive, but like genuinely welcome in. So my brain's on a thought. There was a hi Noel, how you doing? There was a thing as part of Hearthstone. We were talking about it before. There was a promotion as part of Hearthstone that you could get a free hero. Ooh, good rolls across the board. You could get a free hero frame portrait thing. If you played WoW up to, I think it was level 20. This was well within the free realm of WoW. I started as a, let me see. I started as a Dwarven cleric. I lasted, I want to say 2 hours. I stumbled into an area called Nomragon, I think. I heard amazing music. I had no idea where I was going. I didn't receive a single quest along the way or anything. I didn't know how any of my abilities worked. It was interesting. It was interesting. I get the impression that Miz has tragically failed on that attempt and got swallowed up by the floorboards of the tavern. I get the impression that this was back when WoW's onboarding was particularly heinous. I anticipate that it'd be much like a natural 20 nowadays in comparison to back then. But yes, very, very, very rough. Like, you think in 2007 you played a free character up to level 20, wasn't for you? Yeah, that's the impression that I got. It's just not the game for me. I think there's a lot of nostalgia surrounding it, so people who enjoyed it back in the day could very easily get stuck into a new character and grind them up. But because I don't have like the positive attachment to that process, it just feels a little bit bland. Need a guide with WoW? Sister got you into it and guided you through it. Yeah, okay. Run. I do like the idea of somebody walking up to you to attempt to stab you, dramatically missing, even though they've got the ambush on you, and then being like, that was a warning. Don't litter ever again, or else you know what will happen. It was but a warning stab. I wouldn't even say that it could be right. It could be what you've said, that it's just because I didn't have a guide at the time. But I found that I quite enjoyed the MMO format with Guilty Wars. Guild Wars 2. Guilty Wars 2 is something else entirely. Guild Wars 2. Really, really, really enjoyed. Sunk a good year into that, I think, during the pandemic. Really, really, really enjoyable. I don't think I'd ever do it again. Again, just because I'm the type of person who would dedicate my everything to it, in the same way that I dedicate my everything to art and stream and, you know, getting better at stuff. I would very much so lose myself to that process, I think. Lose myself to the music the moment. I've only got one shot. Do not miss my chance. Something. Do you love some Guild Wars? It's fun. It legitimately, Guild Wars, like, if I hadn't, like, on the one hand, I do kind of regret stopping playing. On the other, I'm kind of glad that I did because of how addictive it was. It was a good time. Guilty Wars? Are there also innocent ones? No. It's exclusively Guilty Wars because that's what's fueling the conflict. Everybody's like, frick you stole my sandwich. No, you stole my sandwich. Everybody's guilty until proven dead. God, that's such a good tagline. Guilty Wars. You've got that one for free. On the house from Bahali. Guilty Wars. Everyone's guilty until you... Guilty Wars. Everyone's guilty until they're dead. Oh, dear. Your PB run got approved. Now 13th on the Micromage speedrun leaderboard officially. Nice. Nice. Congratulations. Guild Wars used to be good. Oh, wow. Spicy. Were you an OG Guild Wars? I was going to say Guilty Wars again. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I was going to say Guilty Wars again. Were you an OG Guild Wars player? Because I feel like Guild Wars has gone through quite a few stages. Like original release of Guild Wars 2, from what I hear, was horrendous because there was a whole like promise of storytelling beats and stuff, and that just didn't pan out. And the final area, like fighting against the plague dragon and stuff, was supremely disappointing in comparison. Blah, 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 blah. But then it kind of got better after some of the expansions and stuff. But apparently the first one was really good, so it's been through its dips and peaks. You can lose an entire day running around playing Guild Wars 2. Yeah, even just farming in that game was so satisfying. Worst execution. Now it's time for my execution. Oh, another good line. I feel as though it needs to be like vaguely European as well. Helps with the, I don't know, fantasy feel of it. Terrible execution. Prepare for your execution. I don't know, something straight from a Game of the Thrones. Guilty until proven dead. Actually, I think that was actually what I had initially said. No, it was good. I do prefer that. Original was horrible. Patches made it better, but it was still kind of like 6 out of 10. Well, then, are you kind of alluding to when was it Genthia? The Path of Fire or whatever it was, second expansion? Is that kind of the peak of Guild Wars 2 for you though? Because if you're saying back in the day, it kind of alludes to oh, you said used to be good. Kind of speaks to it being good in the past. That was the switch, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because then after that you got into the dual dragon, like the Dragon of Fire and Ice confrontation stuff, and everybody hated the execution on that. No, I get that. No, that's fair. Friendly reminder for my Harley to run ads. Well, you run ads. Yeah, okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. Before I zone out, I'm going to step away. I'm going to step away for a couple of minutes. I'm going to go stretch. I'm going to drink some water. I recommend that if it's super late for you and you're feeling tired, go to sleep. If it's not too late for you, I recommend getting up, moving around a little bit. You'll feel better for it, I promise. I'm going to run 3 minutes of ads in the meantime, so we don't have to do with pre-rolls for the next hour. I'll see you soon. Be happy. Is somebody smooching their kidneys? Is that what I'm supposed to understand from what I'm reading? Yes? Okay. Just checking. I'm just making sure that I'm on the right pages. Just making sure that I'm understanding correctly. Welcome back. I said at the start of the week that I'd be trialing the new voice chat in the Discord, the library. That's no longer the case. It's no longer the case. I'm keeping it. Regardless of what anybody thinks about it, if everybody else hates the library, I don't care. I find it to be the best thing ever. It's so good. I used to try to be in the Discord VC, just like whenever I was working and stuff. But I found it to be quite difficult to build up the motivation. Isn't quite the right way to say it. Build up the courage, I guess. Maybe the whatever. Whereas the library, it's so chill. It's so chill. This is looking amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There are things that I'm still struggling with, but we're getting close. I won't say we're getting there. We're getting close. Improvement. Like a true adult, you have SpaghettiOs and chalky milk. Well, I mean, we can't all be Ms, can we? We can't all get what we want. Too true. It's tough. In life, you have the haves and you have the have-nots. In this particular instance, Ms. Tick Ether is the haves. They has the chucky milk. You just takes off glasses. That's cool. What? What blurry as hell? Yeah. Yo. So, Miz, at least that was a joke. At least that was a joke. Wrong one. Wrong one. Panic. At least that was a joke. 2 years ago, for Halloween, I decided, hey, wouldn't it be fun to do some spooky face painting on stream? Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that? Because that would be fun, right? right? Surely that'd be fun, right? To do face painting on stream. That sounds fun. Turns out, in order to paint one's face, you need to take off one's glasses. So, cuts to me without glasses on, blurry as all hell, have no idea what I look like, just kind of guessing. Just kind of guessing what I look like at the time. It was not good. It was not good at all. It was quite horrendous. I'm just glad that it didn't go more poorly. To really set the stage, the intention was to paint up my face like a skull, but in stained glass. That was the idea, right? So to like kind of section it up into different chunks and then like do different colors to make it seem like a shattered stained glass skull. Pretty cool, right? Fun. I am glad that I at least had some sight to me, because I started off with black face paint, with pure black face paint, and it could have gone so poorly. It could have gone so poorly, but thankfully we took our time. We sculpted out the shape on the exterior and around the eyes and the nose, and then we immediately started into the color. It turned out pretty okay, all things considered. Pretty okay, all things considered. Like it at least looked like stained glass. Probably didn't look like a skull by the end of it, but that's okay. That's okay. We take our wins. At least it didn't look like strange caricaturing. Is there a VOD? There might be on YouTube, maybe? There are photos at the very least. There are photos somewhere on the Discord. I could probably judge them up if I really wanted to. So difficult without glasses for detail. Yeah, correct. Yeah. And here's the thing that really sunk in afterwards. If you apply black face paint incorrectly in spots that you really don't want it, there's no real like, oh, oopsie daisies, let's just kind of push that back a little bit and then get in with the color. No, black reigns supreme when it comes to the color application. It kind of trumps everything else. So there was no takesies backsies. Yeah, no, it's there to live. It's there to live permanently. Cannibal, let me quickly see if I can grant the regular status on the Discord. Are you in the Discord? I'm not seeing your name. Apologies if you are, but yeah, jump into the Discord and I'll give you the thing. I shall update your role. Regular, unusual, whichever works. Thought you recognized my name? Seen me on Etsy? You saw me on Etsy? Wait a second. That's not how it's supposed to work. I'm supposed to pay Etsy and Etsy's supposed to not show my name to anyone. Hey, go on, Meg. That's actually bonkers. I mean, people have checked out my Etsy before. I Discovery? Yeah, okay. How long ago was this? This was Halloween 2024. 2024 Halloween. Da, 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 da. I have an idea. I have a wonderful idea. I have a terrible idea. I have a wonderfully terrible idea. You are now part of the Discord? Perfect. Let me quickly just... Click on thy name. Grant thee. There you go. Boom. A promotion of sorts. You believe in this idea? Yeah, stronger declaration than mine. He doesn't love terrible ideas. Oh, no, that is a good point, actually. I hadn't considered this. How you doing, baby? I was trying to blend the rock at the top to kind of hide it a little bit. Whereas I feel like I potentially have room here to celebrate the top the top rock a little bit more. Existing? Yeah. How am I going here? Existing. I need sleep. I need sleep so bad. I'm not sleepy. So I need to stay up a little bit longer. But my sleep over the last 2 days has been some of the best, actually. It's been incredible. It's been an absolute roller coaster of a ride. But generally speaking, people don't want roller coaster sleep. They want, like, not having to think about it sleep. No, in all honesty, I can't complain. I'm in relatively good health. I'm doing okay. Reminds you of the guy from the music video from Gautier, somebody that you used to know. Hey, you found it. Hell yeah. Well, definitely not a skull though, yeah? Definitely not a skull. But maybe stained glass or at least colored panels. Sounds about right. Yeah. Back from Siege. Welcome back, bud. How you doing? Did you win? It's kind of what you were imagining. Taking out the art quest? Yeah, okay. It's good. You saunter over to the wall where you see the quest stabbed. You retrieve the parchment. And it reads, oh my god, it's the Lord of Dance again, specifically for you. Is this the third time that you specifically have received a Lord of Dance, whatever, favoritism? The Lord of Dance is wanting something from the pit. Choose at least one challenge. Style. Surrealism. Reality looks weird. Technique. Intentionally use wrong colors. Or detail. Make the lighting come from above. What do you reckon? Does this sound like a challenge that you're up for? And if so, which of the challenges would you like to take? My hair was so long, it was. See the attempt at skull? Yeah, but I had to tell you is the thing. I had to tell you. We'll have to get going now. Have a good rest of the stream, everyone. Thanks, Noel. Thank you. Look after yourself, bud. Sleep well. Okay, I'm thinking that this section of rock here kind of runs in parallel with this face here, because I like this face. If I can kind of get that feeling behind, like it's tiered maybe? I don't love the fact that it feels like this section just kind of cuts off and there's no rockage behind. So maybe what I could do is I could add like a little rock detail here. Like like something just to give it a bit more of a layered feel. Yeah, something like that would go quite well. Thinking the lighting one? Okay. Making the lighting come from above? Obviously the Lord of Dance liked your bush that you made for him last night. Clearly. Well, if you're thinking the light, you kind of, you consider this out loud, like, lighting. And as you do, the quill jumps to life, scribbles your name at the bottom of the parchment, and commits you to the quest. Good luck, Squid. You got this. I can't wait to see. What thing from the pit are you going to choose? It's going to be good. It's going to be good. See the black on the eyes and the nose? This is the right place. Good, safe bet on those ones. Yep. Drink some Chucky milk about this. It could have been much worse. I was actively playing with fire. Yeah. But what exactly is in the pit? Well, I've got a few things confirmed. I'll grab, because I'm a fan of Jade's work, I will grab Jade's rendition of the pit. It's a vast place filled with wonders and riches, but not in the way that you would suspect, because when you say wonders and riches, you're thinking like piles of money. Not so. It's not piles of money, it's piles of things. The piles are made up of things that kind of get lost in the teleportation to the tavern. So the tavern kind of connects everywhere around Brink, sort of random spots, like, oh, fell into like a sewage like manhole opening or whatever. I've ended up in the tavern, that kind of thing. Sometimes it goes a little bit wrong and it kind of just gets spat out underneath, like straight into the pit, and you've got just piles of things at the bottom. So there's a lot of stuff. There's also like a full-on community down there as well. Goblins, rat folk, bunch of people. Let's get to work then. You have an idea? Ooh, okay. You should draw the pit. Hell yeah! If you want to draw the pit, I'm not one to deny you. I would love to see a Miz version of the pit, as long as it makes sense. As long as it makes sense for you to work on it. I don't want to add to your workload. Davey, if I may be so bold, do you have another project in mind for your next watercolor? And if so, are there any details that you can share? I would love to hear. Davey is like my complete opposite. He put all of his skill points into like graphic line work and stuff. And it's so good. It's so good. You know that envy that you feel like in your core when you see somebody that like has done all of the things that you're bad at? You're like, ah, frick. If only I could, if only I could steal Davey's soul. Make things so much easier. You can squeeze it in? Okay. As long as it makes sense for you. Then yes, I would love to see a rendition of your pitch. Very strange declaration. That bit of rock kind of looks like it could be a wrist and a hand. Fingies, kind of. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that being like a little bit skeletal in nature. Miz is always adding to his own workload. That's why I check. That's why I check. Maybe it's a rock giant, like off The Hobbit. Ooh, yeah. Or perhaps one of the, they weren't trolls, were they? They might have been trolls. Ones that were petrified. I'll do it whether I check or not. Yeah. Should at least give them the opportunity to face the decision. Muhaha. Hi, Kels. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. As an artist, so you understand? Oh, of course I do. Literally, the amount of times. So, for example, I've explicitly on my socials been like, my commissions are closed at the moment. Sorry, everyone. But I should acknowledge it because, like, otherwise it'll be awkward. I'm actively talking about like the commissioning process. So like there's explicitly a little bit of a humble brag involved in the process. I apologize. That's not my intention. But I've explicitly been like, no commissions for like the next couple of months because I'm going to be moving house. It's just going to be, I'm going to be super busy. But somebody approached me with something the other day, like a couple of days ago, where it's super interesting for a commission premise. And I'm currently in talks with them as to how we'd go about it, because like as soon as you hit me with like an interesting thing to do, like I will shift heaven and earth to make it happen, because I'm the amount of unfinished projects, because I just ooh piece of candy onto the next thing. This is a question for those who do a lot of crafts. Remember the eyeball ring doorbell thing from Halloween brand Hide and Eek from Target? Whoa, that's specific. No, no, I'm not familiar, sorry. A true artist? Yeah, I mean, I do it for the love of it. So, I like, whenever I do stupid decision, I understand why I do it. The amount of half-baked goods in your folder? Yeah. Yep. You have a lot of half-baked stuff? That's the thing, is I used to have even more half-baked stuff, believe it or not. But I kind of, call it a New Year's resolution or whatever. I kind of decided a few years back that I'd stand my ground and actually finish things, to my detriment, because I take freaking ages, but still. Your resulting question was going to be if it was the right material where you could use acetone or whatever it is to remove the iris pupil decal on the eyeball part. Yes, that would very much so be a question for any crafty people in chat. Is it acetone that is used to remove decals? That sounds right, but I can't confirm. How's my nap? It was okay. I didn't actually get to nap proper, but I meditated. Like I meditated, I turned off technology, I took a bit of time to just kind of decompress, which is good. It's better than nothing. But tragically, no, I wasn't able to properly nap. Just fixate on things, then your brain will just go full stop on it and hit the e-brake. You've worked on this enough, have I? Okay. That's a mental rest. That's the thing, is I feel like half of my turmoil yesterday was like mental overload. And even just taking that that time to chill, I think was quite helpful. Admittedly, yours was has its eyelids fallen off on the hinges, but unsure if it's paint or ink. Go check. All the design work is even dependent on whether or not you'll still have this in the first place. I apologize. I can't really add anything to it. I've got zero experience when it comes to craft. Not okay, maybe not zero. I don't have zero. I've got close to zero. I've got close to zero experience when it comes to craft. Had a bit of a mental overload today. Got a majority of your schoolwork done today since school was closed, but oh boy, halfway through did your brain just shut down. Yeah, that feeling of like self-imposed head fog is not a comfortable one. Not a comfortable one at all. I do like that rock shape. Maybe it's more phallic than it was before, but like, well, give me a break. I'm doing what I can. It's a nice rock. Yeah, like better than before at the very least. From what you're reading, whilst not getting an extreme specific answer, guessing it's plastic. As in the base material or the decal? Yeah, eyeball. Yeah, okay. I'm loving the progress on your face study at the moment. Sorry, that was an assumption on my part. Perhaps it's a full piece, but I'm loving the progress on the face that you're currently working on, Dump Truck. It's looking really, really good. I'm jealous. I need to do more. I need to do more face studies, especially given the portraits that I've done recently. That looks amazing. Thank you, sir. How you doing? Welcome in. Getting places with that. Want the iris pupil to not be as big. Want to customize the iris pupil. Yeah, I'd imagine that. Imagine that. Double check acetone then. Double check if acetone is the thing that's used for like decal removal on plastic, because I know that it's used to remove. Just don't ask me how I know this. I know that it's used to remove features from Lego faces. But I don't know if it's the same with the eyeball that you've got, because I know that Lego plastic is done differently to a lot of other Lego movie. No, because I can't remember what nail polish remover I think was used in the Lego movie. 3D modeling an orca? Hell yeah. Like a true blue orca, pun intended. Doing a complete redo because the first go didn't like the reference. It was looking good. But hey, if it was looking good and then you're starting again, hey, more practice, more practice. You must lie down, you think? Thoughts on the squared when I can? Yeah, we'll do. I'll type up a full I'll type up a full reply in the. I won't just emoji react. I promise. But yeah, rest up, Miz. Rest up. Sleep well, bud. Trying to detach adhesives. Use denaturated alcohol. Acetone is very flammable. It's not an adhesive. It's just a decal. Yeah. Okay. Torch it then. Flamethrower. The simplest solution für das simplest Solution für das Decal ist wait. Flamethrower in German. Ah, this is going to be good. This is. Ah, yes.
Flammenwerfer.
Das simplest Solution für das Decal ist ein Flammenwerfer. Oh God, makes me feel powerful. Oh God. What did you walk into? No, it's fine. We weren't looking up what flamethrowers are called in German. Hey, don't care. We're being sensible. Just denizens of the tavern, just behaving ourselves as we usually do. The idea for the character now is a priest-like higher-up, maybe for your Entitus project, who has a Jekyll and Hyde-like relationship with the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do need to cool off with all this flamethrower talk. That's fair. Don't play with fire. Yeah, no, that's fair. Mihaly, you're too hot-headed right now. I'm going to have to put you on ice. Out of your 70 plus OCs, think this is your first character with a monocle? Surely that's not true. Monocle is like first or second OC territory. Not in a bad way, but in like an exciting way. Like, I want to build a character around the idea of a monocle. How you doing, Kay? How's your day been? At least off the top of your head. I think with 70 plus, you're probably forgetting at least one. Ever since you got your round sunglasses, similar to Vash's, half of your OC have been round sunglasses. I mean, that's just a given, surely. Ever since I realized that I'm potentially the edgiest person to ever exist, all of my characters are always edgy boy. That's not true. That's not true. I'm immediately undermining my own statement, but it, like, I have to be honest, because, like, Daev is the least edgy boy that could ever exist. We were doing Tomb of Annihilation. If you're familiar at all with D&D pre-written adventures, we're doing Tomb of Annihilation. Super dreary, super pessimistic. Like, you walk into a room, you step on a plate, the room blows up, you take 60 damage. It's like, oh God, this place, really wears you down. Dave was a sweet boy. He was a sweet, sweet boy who was just there to make friends with everyone. Dave went to the Tomb of Annihilation to make best friends with as many people as he possibly could. And I humbly feel as though he greatly succeeded. There were so many people along the way that we really shouldn't have made friends with, that we absolutely did. Because that was the modus operandi of this here gremlin. I love him. Want to be friends with this guy? And you would love it. Sorry, but I have to say it. He was wonderful. there was a room of like exchange of thing that means something to you, like leave something here of meaning to you, and in exchange you get other item. And he left a little hacky sack. No, it was too pure for this world. Ah, it's so good. I loved him. But yeah, as I was saying, because I'm the edgiest person ever, the majority of my characters are super duper edgy, similar. If you ever find a D&D campaign, probably try and make the character you're currently working on playable. Yeah, fair. D&D is quite flexible in that sense, where you can make most concepts work within reason. If your character concept is like, well, my character is like one character with two characters on either side of their shoulder. They have wings. They can shoot lasers out of their forehead, and they're also God. At that point in time, you're going to struggle to find a D&D like class and race and everything that kind of fits your character fantasy. But you can within reason. Like you could make Shrek in D&D, or you could make, I don't know, most fighting game characters in D&D, or you could make most anime characters in D&D. It's quite flexible. Imagine Power from Chainsaw Man with it. That's her versatility. Yeah. Sensible curiosity. Oh, what? What have you done? Wait. Lame. Oh, no. Mein Deutsch! Ach, nein. Flammenwaffe is absolutely going to be added to my lexicon, though. Your son based his character off Link? Hell yeah. And Billy based one of his characters off Link as well. It's really good. It's really good for that. You can just kind of plug it in, and the majority of it just works. One of my friends attempted to make the character of apologies, nerdism, but Raiden from Mortal Kombat. No, Raiden from Metal Gear Solid. And he totally was able to. It's wonderful for that, because yeah, like as much as people want to harp on about the purity of like, oh, the purity of an original character, blah blah blah, for for D&D's sake, sometimes it's just fun to be like, hey, I really like this character concept. I wonder if I can play it. You also have to be off to sleep. All good. Thanks for hanging out, Lemon. Look after yourself, okay? Sleep well. A warlock, or maybe just a berserker, or whatever they're called. Barbarian? Yeah. I can see that. Have a lovely night. Get some sleep when I'm ready. Thank you. I'll stick around for as long as I can, but it might have to be like a three-quarter stream or something. We'll see how we go. But yes, go sleep. Look after yourself, bud. Warlock had the idea that her learning new spells from leveling up in a lore idea is just her messing around. But that's kind of the implied process in D&D, that your characters don't just like eureka, I have learned a new thing. It's kind of implied that they've been working on it in the background the entire time. Like, I've been trying to master this new skill and I've finally had like a breakthrough with it type thing. Some amazing like player stuff is when you actually have an idea of what spells that you want to start learning, and you start playing around with this idea of maybe your character has more of a fascination with fire if they want to learn Flame Wall. Perhaps they're talking to other party members who know the spells that they want to learn, and they're like, oh, can you give me some tips on like how does it feel when you execute on the magic, or when did you first perform the spell? Like, was there a particular moment of revelation for you that I could learn from? Blah 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 blah. So that when the level up does actually occur, it doesn't just blam out of nowhere. There's a sense of progression for it. It's not mandatory that you do it that way, but it's always cool when it does. When it does happen. I am fond of it. But then again, that's nothing new for me. I'm fond of foreshadowing in all, like, every way, shape, form, whatever. I'm terrible with DMing, as I see it as an opportunity to just like foreshadow a whole bunch of stuff. The majority of my prep is like, okay, how can I foreshadow as much stuff as possible? Within reason, I don't want to overload my players. Gotta mention it, last Hearthside, hearing all these people getting these characters woven into the stories that they play is such a cool idea. But the campaign you played, your DM didn't really ask you about your character's backstory, so it was kind of like you were just there. It's not necessarily up to, it's a two-way street. D&D isn't like, you as a player are not waiting for the DM to give you permission to world build or like story tell. The DM will give you opportunities, but it's kind of also on you to find opportunities to be like, hey, I can tie this into my character's motivations and stuff. For example, it might be the case that your character is going through like the skeleton of a demolished house that you found in the middle of the forest as you're going tracking down a bounty. Perhaps you're chasing after a werewolf and you happen across a burnt out husk of a house. As you're exploring, it could be that your character, something along the lines of, as Denethor, probably a name from Lord of the Rings, don't worry about it. As Denethor walks around the rubble of this house, he's brought back to that moment 20 years ago when he found the state of his neighbor's house. He was friends with them for ages, and it was so abrupt to have them just disappear like that. Like, you make your own hook in the moment. You kind of relate something in the environment to something in your backstory, and you kind of just like bring it to the forefront, and it's an opportunity for people to bounce off of it potentially. Like, if your character is sad, it gives other people the opportunity to be like, oh my goodness, that character over there is sad. Let me, console them, or let me be like, why are you sad? Or, whatever. Like, you don't need to necessarily wait around for them to explicitly be like, so, Denethor, this house is burnt down in the same way that your neighbor's house was burnt down 20 years ago. How does that make you feel? Like, you don't necessarily need to wait for that. You look for opportunities. But it also, devil's advocate, it also sounds like your DM wasn't giving you many opportunities either. So that's why I'm saying it's like a two-way street. On the one hand, they probably should have given you more opportunities if it feels like they didn't. But on the other, oftentimes it's a case of stepping up a little bit and being like, I'm going to do an RP now. Hold my beer. within reason. Within reason. Kind of depends on the group that you're part of. If RP like is super duper not a thing that other players at the table like to do, then maybe it's more difficult. They put roleplay in my role-playing game. Yeah, yuck. Yuck, yucky. I hate it. If RP isn't something people like at a D&D game, why play it? Well, some people treat D&D like a war game, like a Warhammer, where the intention is to just set out on an adventure, find things to kill, fight them, destroy them, take their loots, and then go and buy a magic weapon, you know? Some people play the game like that, which is fine. Like, it's not explicitly an incorrect way of playing it. I just personally see it as a bit of a lost opportunity because the system is so flexible that it kind of allows for all sorts of different play. Like if somebody enjoys the combat side of D&D, you play to that somewhat, and then somebody likes the RP side of it, you play to RP. If somebody enjoys the exploration side of it, you kind of like, you know, you push the different bits and pieces of it, and it feels like a more satisfying experience. Like for example, I'm yapping, apologies, but you've got me talking about D&D, I can't stop. Help. For example, I am not as fond of the combat in D&D. I feel like it grinds things to a little bit of a halt when it comes to the storytelling of the game, because you have to just sit there exchanging stat numbers and stuff. Not explicitly, you can make combat more engaging by adding stakes, but I tend to find it like slows down the pace of a session where you just have to like roll for initiative and then attack a thing and then get hit by the thing, blah blah blah. But even I put a little bit of combat into my into at least every second session, because I don't know, it just like the variety I feel is one of D&D's strengths. Should have like a Discord D&D campaign based in Brink. That'd be dope. For sure. I do not have the kind of time to run something like that at the moment. I may do in the future, and I'd be interested in doing something like that. But I do not have the kind of time at the moment. DMing takes a lot of work, at least for me. The style of DMing that I engage with requires a lot of prep, because I full on lead into the storytelling and RP aspects of it, so it's way more work, way more work. Possible to technically be kind of bad at a majority of things, because you're thinking that if your OC's personality is like Powers, wouldn't she be bad at some things? Yeah. Well, that's also part of D&D, is like, what is your character not good at? Like, flaws are literally baked into the character sheet. What flaws does your character have? Is your character a kleptomaniac? Does she go around stealing things whenever she possibly can, get her grubby little fingers on them? Is your character a perpetual liar? It's like, under all circumstances, she never tells the truth. She, you know, lies. Is it something that is it a curse? Is it something that she chooses to do? Blah 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 blah. These are the fun bits of D&D where you construct a flawed character. Muhaha. Some people hate constructing flawed characters, and that's fair. Love it. It's fun. Like, for example, Daev, painfully naive. Painfully naive. A bad guy would be like, hey, can you open this for me, please? Trust me. And Dave would be like, yeah, no, that sounds good. I'll help you right away. Immediately undermining. Candlebugs are fire. Hell yeah, they are. Hey, go fire. How many days until freedom? Overestimating what she can do? Yeah, I feel that's a completely fine character flaw. Overconfidence, cockiness, brashness, like all of these are fun character flaws to explore. Very much so. Going okay? How about me? Yeah, doing okay. Doing okay. Sleep has been rough, but not unsalvageable. There is hope. One of your characters was a monk that would do just about anything if he thought he could learn from it, which he put into some extremity, unfortunately. Yeah. It's fun, isn't it? Characters like that are particularly fun for the DM because you can essentially be like, hey, here's a piece of candy. And you know that character is going to run up and like poke like the piece of candy immediately. Sorry to hear. No, it's okay. It's okay. These things happen. Snow actually gave me a piece of advice that I'll be attempting tonight. It was recommended that perhaps I have poor circulation, which lines up with some things, which is why like my heat regulation is kind of out of whack. So I was recommended trying to put like my heat pack, my ice pack. I was trying to put it on the soles of my feet last night to try and like cool down my entire body. But it was recommended that I try and put them like on my lower back, sort of in my kidney area, kind of get the cold to, not the cold to circulate. It's not how cold works, but you know what I mean, like help cool down the rest of my body. Hi Alt, how you doing? DM would be like, something over there looks new and potentially dangerous, but more importantly, knowing your character would love to go and poke that thing. Exactly. If it feels like things grind to a little bit of a halt, you can just be like, what's that over there? And the character's like, ooh, piece of candy. Heat pack? No, absolutely not. Miss input on my part. Offer something for me to look into, saying symptoms of a condition. Yeah, okay, sure. To get the cold to triangulate. Yeah, exactly. Enhance. They're telling me that Mahali is in possession of an EMP and an electrical magnetic pulse. What it does is it destroys all of the electrical currents in the immediate vicinity. Every time introduced into a movie. Triangulate the position of the EMP. Oh, the technical jargon. They have to explain it every time as well. We're going to use two signal locations to try and determine the location of a third signal by using them as a cross-reference. Usually after people faint, put ice packs on their back of their necks. Usually gets the job done. Yeah, okay. Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, alternatively EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. No, I don't have. I know somebody who has that. I don't have that. I maybe I've got it to like a more mild degree. Nerves dysfunction condition. Here's the thing. It's almost like I experience some of those symptoms more strongly under certain scenarios. Like, I don't usually have an issue with any sort of nerve interface. I don't experience muscular or nerve pain unless I've gone to the gym or something, and I can directly correlate that with that. I don't have any sort of circulation issues usually. It's just sometimes with sometimes I overheat a little bit is like the only thing. Can I have one but not the other? Yeah, okay. POTS. Don't mind me. Oh, God. Put a dark mode on your websites. Damn you. Causes a number of symptoms when you transition from lying down to standing up, such as fast heart rate, dizziness, and fatigue. Doesn't sound like this. Significant illness. Dizziness, fainting, heart palpitations, exhaustion, fatigue, feeling nervous or anxious. That one, but like shakiness, excessive sweating, no. Shortness of breath, no. Chest pain, no. Headaches. Headaches tend to come from like muscular pain after workout through the neck. It's less to do with feeling sick, not really. Bloating, no. Pale face and purple discoloration of your hand, no. Disrupted sleep from chest pain, racing heart, no. Often gets worse in the following situations: being in warm environments, standing frequently, participating. I don't really experience the majority of those symptoms though. Mahali could be secretly a tiefling. I could have a an infernal engine in my chest. There's a potential there, potentiality for that. Suffering from Gardener Kybus dragon syndrome. It's true. I've got to get my hands on those blue eyes white dragons. It's true. These symptoms won't subside until I've got those sweet Yu-Gi-Oh cards. In the medical field, don't mistake hoofbeats for a zebra, aka go to the most extreme diagnosis before addressing the most basic ones. I anticipate that it's just a case of my dad has just like poor circulation. It's like an inherited like genetic thing. I anticipate it's more likely to do with that in correlation with dramatic weight loss. I anticipate that like those are the two things coming together. But I appreciate you keeping an eye out for me though. I do really appreciate it. Drag on these. Walked into it. I was so happy to see the Kyber reference. Damn. Said one or two big ones. You're like, maybe he gets more. No. Relatively newly discovered condition. A lot of people have recently diagnosed with it in the past 2 years. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. All of those, like the couple that I kind of line up with, I can point to other circumstantial evidence that kind of is more strongly correlated with those other things than it would be an inherent syndrome. Don't want it, but I don't have enough symptoms to consider it. Yeah. Actually, now that you say it, I actually know exactly what I'm stuck with. The Australian climate. Ugh. I hate the heat. I hate the heat. Professional diagnoser. Diagnose 50,000 people threatening illnesses every day. Consider it, say it's tuberculosis. It could be TB. TB could be fun, because then I'd be able to commit to the whole like doc holiday routine. Like, I'm dying of what consumption. I'm dying of the consumption, but I am very good at art. Okay, well, maybe not very good at art. I'm half decent at art. I'll be famous. Shaking fist at the sky. Darn you, Australian weather. It's not incorrect. Okay, you like, I unironically do it on a semi-regular basis. If it's a tapeworm, could do a crazy Dr. House impression. What's the one that it always isn't? What's the illness that it's always not for Dr. House? I can't believe I can't remember. Also getting really dizzy, standing up normal. Oh, yeah, I think the implication is that like to unnatural degree. Like just standing up normally, you get lightheaded. Yeah. Yep. Friendly reminder for Mahali to run ads and take a break. Yeah. Okay. In a second. I'm busy. I'm pooping. Only 5 minutes. Rapid change in blood pressure causing the spins. Yep. For me, I only get dizzy when I stand up. When I'm like, oh, I found a shiny Pokemon. I am getting up because I am ecstatic. Whoa! I have gotten up too quickly. That's probably the only time that I experience dizziness from getting up too quickly. Hi Dizzy, how you doing? Or pregnant? I mean, yeah, I suppose. 80 times? I know. On 91, I know. The numbers are getting pretty high, all things considered. Train for another 100 years before you face me. I do like the idea of using that line. But I'd need to find the perfect occasion. It'd need to be for something really silly, like a hot dog eating contest or something. Have bigger fish dogs on. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Not a hot dog eating contest. A fish dog eating contest. My bad. I'm going to say something shocking. Hold on to your butts, okay? I am happy with the rock formation on the left. I know. This is me we're talking about. These are words that really shouldn't be spoken. But in a moment of weakness, I declare that I'm pretty happy with the rock formation. So I'm happy to, I think all I need to do now is pop it a little bit more. Like I'm happy with it structurally. I need to push some of the extremities of it a little bit more, that push the contrast. And then I'll be over the moon, I think. Love the rock formation on the, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Finish the quests. Okay, I'll give it a look. I'll give it a look in a second. But I've put off my break. I've put off my break for too long. I'm gonna step away for a little bit. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna move around. Talking about circulation, I'm gonna get a little bit of my blood flowing throughout my extremities, fingers and toes and all that jazz. I recommend that if you've been sat for the past hour, take this opportunity to move around. You'll feel better for it. I promise. Coming from somebody who used to refuse to. I'm gonna run 3 minutes of ads while I'm away, just so that we don't have to deal with pre-rolls for the next hour. I'll see you soon. Yabby. Hi. Ooh. Lord of Dance's missing dance staff. I like squid. I like a lot. That's so good. I do like the idea of the Lord of Dance having a personal item that's stuck in the pit. That's so good. You can very much so tell it's the Lord of Dance's dancing staff as well. It's so good. I like a lot. Welcome back. How'd we do? Any interesting ads? Kept the colors the same from the bush you requested. Yeah, the same ribbons. Yeah. No, I did see that. I like. You came up with the Lord of Dance? I'm not sure. It might have just been something that came around with the questing system. It might have just been something that was adopted. First quest, do you think? Potentially, yeah. Just don't remember why, who. Remember someone made him up before the quest? Did they? Yeah, maybe. Because the majority of the quest people, like the quest givers, are people. I can't remember. It's been too long. Plus my memory sucks. Did a character piece of him? Did the bush quest? Somewhere in the Tavern, yeah. I've mentioned it on the Discord already, but I should mention on stream as well, just so that, I don't know, for those who aren't in the Discord or for those who didn't see it before, I'm trying a new channel in the Discord for the next month. On top of the library, which I have already confirmed that I'm just going to keep permanently because I personally love using it, and I'm a mad tyrant and I'm throwing my power around. But we're also going to be trialing a little discussion channel for the monthly art fair specifically, because I know that there have been attempted discussions in the past about like, oh, I'm working on this for the monthly art fair. What do you guys think of this? Here's a work in progress. Blah 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 blah. But it's been difficult because obviously I need to stay fine to it. So it's been a little bit awkward with people posting it in like the general chatters and then like spoiler tagging it and stuff. I've added a new channel specifically for the discussion of it. Let me know what you think. If it sees use over the next month, I'm down to keep it, but if it doesn't see any use, we'll get rid of it. I've really been enjoying the library. I've really been enjoying it. It's been fun. I've for the longest time wanted to hang out in the Discord voice chat while I work on paperwork, work on commission stuff, work on stream stuff, whatever it happens to be. But I've found it to be quite taxing. Not because anybody's done anything wrong, just because I'm fundamentally an introvert, right? So I find active interaction with people throughout the process tends to be like a little bit like energy draining. But with the library, I feel like it's a really fun solution to that, where I can like enjoy the company of other people, but it's not active, you know, so it's not as draining. You're back and in pain? Oh, sorry, bud. You okay? I mean, you've just said that you're in pain, but what's up? I think your two favorite things right now when doing art is lighting and hair. Don't know why you like hair, but it's just so much fun to draw. That's fair. That's fair. Hi, Elle. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. You got your art? Nice. Congratulations. Can't tell if it's stomach or diaphragm. Sharp hurting in the dip of your chest near the front. Oh. How bad's the pain? Because if it's real bad, you might need to do something. Just occurred to you that you could be in the library right now? Yeah, you could be. Yeah. Nothing's stopping you from, like, people hang out in the VC while I'm streaming. Completely fine to do that. Chat it in the Discord. Sweet. I'll give it a look the next time I take a break. Thank you for sharing. I need to be well behaved. I noticed a couple of weeks ago that I was spending a lot of time checking Discord. So I'm trying to exhibit self-control. Love the watercolor oil painting style of the artist you command. Hey, nice. Yeah, no, I'll, as I said, like I will absolutely look into it the next time I take a moment. Been slowly increasing the last 5 to 6 hours. There are like nursing hotlines that you can call to tell them your symptoms and see what they recommend. That's maybe your best option at the moment if it's increasing. If on a pain scale it's approaching like a 6, 7, 8, you might need to go to ER. Good idea? Yeah. Yep. That sucks. Why can't our bodies just like not be in pain, you know? Eating now just to make sure it's not hunger pain or some weird kind. It's flaring it a little, but you'll see how it settles down in the next like 10 minutes. Sure, I would still call said hotline. Especially if it's been over the last 5 to 6 hours. I think you've waited plenty. Over here, still young. I mean, even young people experience pain. Don't sell yourself short. I'm not sure if that's the context in which I should be using it, but haven't broken a bone. I mean, me neither, technically. I fractured my elbow when I was, what, 7, 8? Heading out now? Class starting? Yeah, go. Thanks for dropping in. I'll type up a response to the artwork you said. Thank you. Look after yourself, bud. Enjoy your day. Either that says something about you or says something about how much you go outside. A nerd not going outside? It's unheard of. Talking to someone who doesn't know what P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way Sydney is. You're too old. Wait, I don't think that's an age thing. Surely not. That's just a lack of Australian culture. He said about the movie produced by an American animation studio. It is? Okay, if you say so. Shark bait, ooh ha ha. Yeah, exactly. You don't know what that is? No, Squid. You do actually know what that is. I promise you. That or I'm upset. Everyone knew P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way Sydney. I mean, yeah, it was a trial of passage, you know. See? One foot in the grave, gonna be dust soon. Fish are friends, not food. See? Everybody knows. Everybody knows what it's from. Maybe Squid just needed a bit of reminding. How you going, Wiggles? Speaking of a blast from the past, I haven't thought about the Wiggles in so very long. Shark Tale is clearly the better movie. Clearly mean, like, words mean things, Fields. Words mean things. I wouldn't use the word clearly. Perhaps it is of your opinion. Shark Tale is a fever dream. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd agree with that sentiment. Me personally. Welcome to the car wash. Welcome to the car wash. Yeah. Wasn't a big fan of it as a kid. Cars, on the other hand, spicy take. I'll take it though. No, that's fair. That's fair. Going to the whale wash, guys. We are not rebranding the Tavern to the whale wash. Ain't happening. Shark Tale has the better soundtrack, but it's not as quotable. I could agree with that, yeah. Yeah, it had some bops. Would I agree with that? I actually really like the soundtrack for Finding Nemo. I really like the soundtrack for Finding Nemo. But I will admit that I might be in the minority in that regard, because a lot of it, this is coming from somebody who does landscape art, right? I enjoy the like, what's the word? The ambient soundtrack of Finding Nemo. It feels like you're underwater with the soundtrack. Like it very much so feels like you are in the Great Barrier Reef when you're listening to it. It sounds amazing, but some people prefer sort of a little bit more boppy, lyric heavy music. So no, I get that. I will fully accept that I have the unpopular opinion in terms of that. In terms of which soundtrack's better. Toy Story was your movie as a kid? Atlantis was my movie as a kid. Atlantis was mine. I've lost track of the amount of times that I've watched that movie. Sometimes it freaks you out that Toy Story is older than you. Wait, I can't laugh yet. I believe Toy Story is the same age as me. It is. I'm technically older than Toy Story. Technically. Had a sense of wonder. Yeah, and I had that feeling of, well, even like I'm experiencing in Subnautica now, where like I'll be, just doing my own thing and then something just kind of goes boom off to the side in the water and it kind of reverberates. That kind of feeling is imbued in the soundtrack. It's really cool. More into moonwalking across the sand vibes that are in Shark Tank. That's fair. If anything, I would say that is probably the generally correct answer. I'm just a big music nerd, that's all. I also watched the Bugs Life ripoff called Ants. Ants was not a Bugs Life ripoff. Ants was just also about ants. As well as a Bugs Life. The storylines were completely different. Ants was literally about war. It was... Ants gave me nightmares, actually. Like, real talk for a second. DreamWorks Ants legitimately gave me nightmares as a kid. Tarzan has the best soundtrack. I can agree with that. Phil Collins any day. Drag all of that stuff that I said about ambient soundtrack off the table. Don't care anymore. I've decided that I'm betraying my opinion. Phil Collins to the ends of the earth. Atlantis was so good. Had banger movies back in the day. Oh, we did. But I specifically had a taste for the weird ones. Weird, quote unquote. Atlantis, Emperor's New Groove, Treasure Planet, Lilo and Stitch. All my favorites. All the best ones. Sword in the Stone was also magnificent. Beauty and the Beast, glorious. Ants was scary AF. Yeah. Tarzan just had Phil Collins, not allowed to be included in these same talks as brother. Same for Brother Bear. Yeah, no, they're closer to like I don't know. It's still pretty good though. 2 years older than Tory Story. Toy Story. No, that's fair. I'm probably a little bit younger than you then. I preferred Ants over Bugs Life. That's a spicy take. Visually, I think I prefer Ants. But in terms of like a holistic movie experience, I think Bugs Life is better for me. A scene where one of the ants gets blown in half, you just watch him isolate. It's literally just his head. That movie. Phil Collins drums, yeah. Do. Well, I mean, not that song in that movie, but still. In your English class last year, on the last day of term, ended up watching Cars 2 for our last class. Cars 2 is a fever dream. Sorry, I'm going to add that to the docket as well. Something about those chiseled ant jaws was unsettling. I don't mind it. It reminds me of Rocks, actually. And I'm all about Rocks right now. The good old 2D animation. Yeah. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just copium on my part. But I am under the strong impression that enthusiasm for 2D animation didn't go anywhere. Nobody was like, I hate 2D animation now. I am of the strong suspicion that studios just liked the fact that 3D was just like a little bit easier to produce. So they intentionally kind of slowed down their production of movie development, and then kind of just used the subpar performance of a couple of their not as good movies as ammunition to essentially be like, hype for it's over. We released Treasure Planet, which, let's be honest, is not a very Disney movie. It's kind of closer to a DreamWorks movie in a good way, don't get me wrong, but like doesn't have a Disney movie vibe to it at all. And then The Princess and the Frog, I like it, but it's not like up there with some of their best ones, right? So if they're trying to be like, oh well, the movies aren't doing as well as when we were doing our best movies, you think? It feels so artificial. It feels so artificial to be like, nobody's interested in 2D animation anymore. Frickin' lies. What about The Rescuers? The Rescuers was fantastic. Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under. Opening scene song. Beauty and the Beast makes you ascend to heaven. Yeah, I studied Beauty and the Beast for animation class. I took an animation elective at uni, and it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Watched Titan AE? No, but I have seen it. That's the weird 2D 3D movie, right? I've seen like little snippets of footage from it. No, the movie soundtrack was more traumatizing than the Jumanji drums. Yeah, I can agree with that. Because they're associated with giant spiders. That's cheating. It's a scene where one of them gets their head blown off, and then you watch him die slowly. You're correct, yeah. Yeah. It's I believe it's the Sylvester Stallone ant. Is just a head. It's heckin' terrifying. Small Soldiers. I don't believe so. That wasn't the movie about like a toy factory, was it? Small Soldiers was like the actual toy characters. It's kind of mishmashed in my head from back in the day. I don't believe I did watch it, or if I did, I was very, very, very young at the time, and probably too young to be honest, based on vague memories that I can recall. Love The Borrowers? The Borrowers I'm not familiar with. Love Tiny People movie. Wait, is The Borrowers the one with what's his face from Moulin Rouge, and he appears as Professor Slughorn in Harry Potter, and that guy, he talks like this most of the time. He's also in Hot Fuzz. He's the police constable. That guy? Because isn't he one of the little people? No? What am I thinking of then? John Goodman? Heck, I'm completely off. Real homies jam out to the Won't Back Down scene in Barnyard. Barnyard was also a fever dream. Nickelodeon animated, I think. Leader of the Gorgonites? No, I don't remember. Maybe. Let me look it up. Was it The Borrowers? The Borrowers movie. Yeah, no, so John Goodman was one of the bigs. It freaking was. Yes, I told you he's in it. I freaking knew it. I'm not crazy. You're all crazy. Frick you. I knew it was him. I freaking knew it. He was in it. The Borrowers cast. He was one of the littles. He was one of the little tiny people. God, where was that pulled from? I don't even remember the movie, and I remember that was in it. Heck. You're young and you don't recognize anyone? Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm just surprised that I remember that aspect to it and nothing else. John Goodman was the human size guy? Yeah. Yep. You have no recollection of the small people's faces. I need to watch it for maybe the first time. I don't know. I don't remember. I must have watched it then. Does my memory deceive me? I saw a Digi just before I took a break before, right? Hi Digi, how you doing? Sorry, complete blank. Hope you're doing well, bud. What a pull! I know. Those are the vast holes of my memory. Why can't I remember words like phantasmagorical when I want to use them in D&D, but I can remember that dude was in the Borrowers. A movie that I have no recollection of, apparently, except that guy. Remember John Goodman, Mark Williams, who was also in Harry Potter? Yeah, okay. Never even tied them together. Do you recognize John Broadbent, though? He's been in so much, but the name is often unknown. Yeah, that's the thing. There are a few. I feel like who's another? Stanley Tucci is another. The only reason why I know Stanley Tucci's name is because I've heard people refer to him as the Tooch, and it makes me giggle like a child every time, and it's just stuck in my brain. But otherwise, he doesn't get talked about enough. Stanley Tucci is commonly known. That's fair. That's fair. Maybe it's just a me thing then. Oh, you know who doesn't get spoken of enough? Let me find his name so that I can pull it to the forefront of the cultural zeitgeist. Alan Tudyk. Alan Tudyk is in freaking everything, and not enough people know of him. Some people might recognize him, and if that is the case, I'm very happy. But he ought to be a framed picture ought to be above everybody's mantelpiece, right above the fireplace, in everybody's eating halls, in their great Jarl kingdoms. A framed photo of Alan Tudyk. Alan 2 what now? Oh, no. He's so good though. He does a lot of voice work. He's the robot in Star Wars Rogue One. He's the chicken in Moana. He's in A Knight's Tale as a fantastic character. I don't know. He does amazing work. A Knight's Tale. Yeah. Yep. Don't know how to spell his name. I believe it's a K instead of a C in your spelling, but otherwise you nailed it. Heath Ledger. I know. Every time. You know that guy? Yeah, he's so good. He's so good. Still live? You're here without threatening your sleep schedule. Hey, hi PP, how you doing? Yeah, I mean it's a it is a Wednesday. It is a Wednesday, so it means that I'm usually live for another 15 minutes. But because I started stream late, I've got another hour after this, depending. We'll see how we go. I might be a little bit pooped. We'll see. First thing you knew him from was Dodgeball as the guy. Yes. Yeah. He is. I completely forgot. Yeah. Hey, oh, can't hear. Sitting at a restaurant eating lunch. Wanted to say hi. Posted Austria pictures in the Discord. Nice. I'll quickly. Hi, Noctua. I hope you're doing well. Enjoy your food, okay? 13's not bad. 7 and the 9. 8. What can you do? Happy Hump Day is another character that you always say, which you always thought meant one thing, just means being halfway through the week, over the hump of the week. Are you're almost there. Almost there, man. You almost manifested it, did you? You're close. You're close. Yeah, there are a few idioms like that that are a little bit on the strange side. I strongly suspect that society starts breaking down as soon as you start, like, hyper deconstructing the etymology of every single word. Like raspberries. Like, what are we doing? You kidding? Like, blueberry, I get it. Strawberry, I can kind of understand. Like, those are the conditions under which it's grown. Raspberry? Raspberry? Why? The more you work on this orca, the more it starts looking like a koi. Do you have a reference photo next to you, Strider? I highly recommend it, especially where you're trying to learn. Use a lot of references. It'll help to construct like a lovely gallery of references in your head. It helps you as a point of reference for like anatomical proportions and stuff. I don't know, like some of these things are just not intuitive. So building up familiarity builds your intuition. Going to the pit, not with an 11. Apologies. Are there not usually Latin-based roots? For a raspberry? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Etymology of a raspberry. Hit me with it. Hit me with it. Raspberry oh, God. Have dark mode. Have dark mode as your default, please. I don't want to be blinded. Possibly it is from Latin. Raspatia, raspatitium, raspatum, a type of tart wine with the fruit so called either from the berries coming to substitute the original grapes, or perhaps because the berries were thought to resemble the wine's flavor. No. Nonsense. Grasping at strawberries. Can just go in the pit if you want. Roll is to see if you end up there by accident, if you're not mistaken. Correct, yeah. If you want to just go into the pit, it's a thing that you can just do. You've got a reference? Yeah, okay. Cool. Flashbang. Every time. Said I couldn't. Well, yeah, well, because you did roll for it, and the roll wasn't. Whatever. It's true. Digi's right. I'm wrong. Raspberries? Yeah. Well, apparently raspberries are based off of the Latin, which sounds so hoity-toity for just a berry. Come on. Like, next I'm going to find out that what? Like, Oh, apple is from the Latin appalling. No, I like apple, so root word, absolutely not. Started doing grey backgrounds. Mahali doesn't get flashbanged. Half the time he's still forgotten. I appreciate the conscientiousness. She's arguably one of the best berries. I don't disagree, but I'm just saying that I feel like sometimes focusing on the root terminology for words is like a pointless effort. The dictionary evolves. If we just kind of decide that a word is a word just because, I don't know. But I am actually somebody who looks up the etymology of things, so I feel like I'm being a massive hypocrite right now. Frick. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just being argumentative. Don't mind me. I'm sleepy, okay? Fight me. Don't fight me. I'm tired. Uncle, I give up. I'm a mess. Hey, how you doing, Erica? Want to know who decided on banana? Was like, maybe one more A and then another N and another. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. We need to revel in the absurdity of these words instead of having to like. Then again, I do like hyper focusing on. Right. I'm a bundle of contradictions. Part of me wants the whimsy. The other part is like, but let's find out for real, though. You know what? I'll chalk it up to depends on what day you catch me. Yeah, I'm happy with that. We'll simplify it to that. Sometimes it's digging into the root terminology of a word day. Sometimes it's a Kalu Kalay, like Fey forest creature Bahali day. Banana in Norwegian is banan. Better off for it. It's more efficient. I enjoy my fruits as efficient as possible. No, I didn't want that extra A. Yeah, clearly not. Just like, here's a thing that you shouldn't do. Here's a thing that you shouldn't do. But it's a fun little, I don't know, if you're a nerd. Take a word, shave off part of it, and see if it's still recognizable as the word. If it is, leave it shaved off. The word character, if you just get rid of the at the end, character, it communicates it. You're fine. Dust your hands off. You've made life just that little bit more efficient. Don't do this, by the way. It's pedantic and silly. Don't do it. But it's fun. I haven't got to watch streaming forever. No, you're all good. You're all good. Life's been hectic for me. I'm the last person on the face of this earth who should ever judge somebody for not keeping in touch. You're all good. You're fine. Hi, Vid. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Carrick. Pancake. There you go. See? Pancake. You don't need the E at the end. Fixed. As if there's something wrong with the word. How you going, Vid? How was stream? Did you have a good time? Stream was good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. If you've got anything that you'd like to share of it, I would love to see. No stress though. If your hands are full, please prioritize looking after yourself. But if you do have anything that you'd like to share with everyone, would love to see. Norwegian likes to add weird letters though. Example, orange in Norwegian is orans. Oh, that's fun. I like that a lot. Suddenly there were a lot less E's and A's in the world. Yeah, I know. And all of a sudden, it's like 1,000 voices cried out and then were silenced. Practiced hands and feet. Some space shuttles. Nice. Vid usually works on fantasy imagery, very akin to old tome illustrations. I love his style. Love his style a lot. But recently he started into a lot of sci-fi imagery as well. It's been cool to see. It's been really, really cool to see. I've said for a while that I should probably start to branch out just like a little bit to, I don't know, explore the whimsy of other things. So it's been encouraging to see Vid kind of trailblazing ahead of me with experimentation. It's been really cool. Oops, not that color. The same as always as well, Vid. If you've got to look after yourself after stream, if you've got to raid and run, no stress whatsoever. I absolutely understand. Streaming takes a lot out of me, so I fully get it. If you've got to jump out. Got a pretty chill day tomorrow. Have an English essay after school tomorrow, but leading up to that, you have double English. One class in the morning, and then in the afternoon, then you have music. Middle two classes are double art, so you're just vibing. Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. What kind of school curriculum is this? Where are my double art periods, excuse me? Our teacher has a meme wall. Get to make memes about him. that's fun. Our art teacher in year 12 was I don't even remember her name, so she can't even get upset. Haha. That's how that works. Was horrendous. Was maybe the worst teacher that I've ever had. She wasn't like abusive or anything like that. I would just say that she didn't really know what she was doing and was also aggressive. It was an interesting combination. Don't take my word for it either. It's not just me. My entire class failed art for year 12. I feel as though that illustrates my point pretty succinctly. I don't need any further proof beyond that. A bit of art tax, yes, please. How? I'll get into it. I'll get into it. First, though, some positivity before we get into the negativity. Hell yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. So we've got some space shuttle concept here. Tadpole mode. That's so cool. Really good job, by the way, keeping the perspective on these longer shapes consistent. I can see that you've done it using grid work, and it helps. It helps. You can tell what the round shape of the shuttle is. You've done a really good job of illustrating like what shape it is occupying. Really, really, really well done. And to combine it with fin shapes like this as well can also be really difficult, because you oftentimes end up with something that's slightly askew, which is incredibly frustrating. You've nailed it. You've absolutely nailed it. And then obviously I'm going to be a fan of the anatomical studies as well. Really, really, really good job. Really, 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 really good job. All of this to say that, guys, if you like this kind of work, please, please, please check out Vid. Please, please, please check out Vid. There's a shout out link up towards the raid message, but you know what? I can quickly do that again. Easy enough to do. Shout out Vid Fair. There we go. Boom. Didn't use any tools for perspective. If you were to clean them up, would use the correct tool for it. Yeah, fair. Really hard for you? Again, needed practice? Yeah, good. I always celebrate practice. It's always good. Prepping for the popcorns of the promised negativity. Hi Fred, how you doing? But yes, this teacher was in particular quite incompetent. She was earnestly trying, like it's not out of laziness on her part. I just feel like she didn't really have a good understanding of what was required for the job. Because 90% of the time, a lot of the lessons were essentially her just going through and critiquing our artwork. Which I feel like didn't really do much, in the sense that we all went on to submit artwork for our exams and all of our art passed, like no problem. Easy, flying colors, like not an issue. The part that we struggled with collectively as a class was all in theory. So as part of Year 12 art, we needed to do art literature as well. So we'd have to take sample art pieces from different artists, deconstruct how they work, how they didn't work, what techniques that they used, what era they're from, what inspired them, blah 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 blah. Like what are they depicting? Blah 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 blah. We spent basically zero time on this. The closest to a lesson that we spent on art literature was she got us to all sit down and write essays about artwork. No direction whatsoever. It was essentially just like, go find artwork and write essays on them. It's like, cool, but if we're just going off of what we know from English and English Lit, we're going to apply those mechanics to this, and I don't think that's going to cut the cheese. And evidently, it did not. It did not at all. We all failed. Specifically when it came to the literature stuff, it sunk all of our marks because it was 50-50. So we had the prac and then we had the lit. The practical stuff accounted for half. So if we 100%ed the prac side of things, it would carry the other half because it amounts for 50%. Nobody got 100% in the prac stuff. We all got like 60 to 80% or whatever, but we bottomed out, like complete awful scores with literature. So it sunk all of our grades to the point where literally nobody graduated with a passing art score. It was particularly awful. Here's the thing that really sort of opened our eyes to it, though, was on graduation. How to explain without going too deep into the weeds? Schooling here in Australia, we've got two exam periods. We've got our graduation exams, and then we've got our our university exams. Graduation are for like graduating school. University is our scoring that we use to be able to apply for certain universities. Her grading of our stuff, we passed. I believe most of us did anyway. The exterior grading or exterior test scores for exterior application of our scores, we all did incredibly poorly, which tells me that she wasn't very good at her job. Essentially, that's the conclusion that I came to. Stress it out because some of your mismatching numbers in production of a product, but you seem to have clearly documented your numbers to the client, so you're hoping it won't go get back to you. Well, I mean, if you've done your due diligence, then heck yeah, but you've got sturdy feet to stand on. You can essentially tell them to piss off. See, nothing has changed about art since I was at school. Yeah, seemingly so. How we all failed philosophy in our exams? Yeah. If you experience the same thing, then I'd say yes. Theory and prac seems to all be the same. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that it would be retained. Still stresses you out. Also doesn't help that your biggest client, it's your biggest client, and that this whole production has been full of problems. Literally threw you into full-on anxiety mode a couple of times. Oof, not really full anxiety mode right now, but it's on your mind. If it's as you've said and you've done your job, and the chain has broken somewhere else, the client literally can't bring it to you as a problem. If you can point to like, here is the point of failure, probably, like, because it's out of my hands. Like, I don't actually know where the point of failure has come into play, but I've communicated this. We have this on record. You can check. Then it doesn't reflect poorly on you in that regard. Obviously, these things are going to inherently reflect a little bit poorly just because it's a negative experience, but they would be silly to blame part of the production that didn't go poorly, you know? Throwing the baby out with the bathwater is the term that comes to mind. Plan out a theoretical exhibit for your artworks you do? Okay, so a little bit different. How are you feeling about the image? Show us your art soul. Feeling good. Feeling pretty good. I'm happy with this cluster of rocks in the corner now. I feel like I need to blend it into the ambient environment a little bit more, so I'm considering blending out the top like that, just so that it kind of lies flush with the rest of it. Even that little bit that I've done there feels a lot better. I'm also considering darkening this candle bug a little bit, just so that this one sits a little bit forward. They don't feel like they're on the same plane, which they currently do. So I'm going to go through and add some darker color to it. You've pointed out a couple of emails where numbers are clearly shown, where the calculations are coming from too, etc. Also going to start doing version numbers moving forward and a changelog for each graphic. Yeah, good. Glad that you're using it as an opportunity to be like, it's a good learning opportunity. Even if you haven't done anything wrong, plotting out your process in a way that keeps them informed the entire time is also a good skill to apply. Good job for finding the silver lining. You're kind of back, laying flat in your couch, just took some muscle pain meds. Did you talk on the phone with the peeps? Did you get feedback? Does give you more work. Should help documenting stuff moving forward. Yeah. Yep. Wifey says it's you've been coughing heavier the last few days. Suspects that you've just shot the muscles. It costs you nothing, I don't think, to just get a consensus. You could even bring that up as a piece of info. You could be like, hey, so like, here's the running thought that we have. you know, type it, like, and they can do with that information what they will. But might not be bad to get an educated opinion on it. Calling it a night for you. Need to sleep because obviously you didn't get much last night. You slept till 9:20 this morning. Yeah, all good. Look after yourself, bud. Thanks for hanging out. Continuing my assessment of the image, I feel like I need to bring more cyan into the Weeping Willow. Because it feels like the Weeping Willow is kind of sitting uncomfortably separate at the moment. So that tells me that I need to blend it into the scene a little bit more. Damn. Oh, dear. Runs through the chest into your back, down the belly button to the front. I reckon you should call. In fact, I'm going to bully you. I'm going to bully you into calling. You don't even necessarily need to listen to them, but just getting a secondary opinion is always valuable. Yeah, B? Yeah, go. Look after yourself, bud. Jumps into the pin. I do appreciate that you're essentially like wandering around on the interior of the tavern like, oh my, what would happen if, per se, a plank of wood were to spring free and I were to stumble into the... It's not happening, damn it. You pry one open and jump in. You feel like you need to be in the pit today? Yeah, no, that's fair. The pit is the place to be. It's where all the stuff happens, you know? Pit cozy? Yeah, exactly. I've been umming and ahhing about it for a while, but I really should do another world building stream soon-ish. It's been a little while. It's been a couple of months. Under the juicy fish dog, Pluck approaches the waterfall and extends it forward as an offering. Ooh. Unfortunately, with a 6, you don't really get a response, my guy. That needed to work. You can always try it again later. But at least this time of the day, lack of activity seems to be the go. Think you only now realise that I'm Aussie? Yeah, my accent is all over the place, but I particularly horrendous. My accent is particularly horrendous. I'm particularly hoity-toity. I enjoy enunciating. It's fun. I take pleasure in speaking particularly properly. It's a flaw of mine. Perfectionism and all that jazz. There's that. But then also I grew up in Greece for a good stint of my childhood at an American school in Greece. So I've got like European, American English. Like it's soup. Feature, not flaw. For sure. Very articulate. Correct. Sure. It's a fun quirk. I'll put it that way. It's awesome. It's given me unique life experiences that make me me. So to that extent, I'd never change it for the world because I don't believe in regret. I believe in like consuming life experience, bad or good, churning it, constructing it into something productive, and then growing as a person from it. Like lots of terrible stuff has happened, but like it's fine. You you incorporate it, you process it, you turn it into either art fuel or, you know, like personal growth, and you transform. An expat? That's what you clocked? Thought it was me being a Kiwi. I'm an expat? Expat? Expat. Define. Person who lives outside their... Yeah! Yep. It was a stint of... It was a stint of like 3-4 years. Oopsie. It was a stint of like 3-4 years. But this was during like incredibly formative years. Still an expat? Yeah, well, yes. Then yeah. What's my background? I'm half Greek, half Australian. Born Aussie? Yeah, born Aussie, but especially during like my early childhood, I spent a lot of time in Greece. I'd say up until the age of 10, it was about half and half. Technically, I was bilingual for a bit, but I didn't pursue Greek enough to sort of maintain it. I still have it somewhat. I'm partially conversational, but as soon as it gets to like I can talk like a child in Greek, basically. I can't hold adult conversations. Which makes sense, actually, now that I think about it. I lived in Greece when I was a child, and I could only talk in Greek like a child. Wait. Reading their letters gives you a headache. At this point, you feel like you get Slavic more than you get Greek. It's fun because I don't know. I kind of use it to inform. I get a sense of like how other languages work and stuff. It's fun. Probably because you got Slavic friends. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. It all comes from our experience, right? That's only just gone and made sense. Yeah, exactly. Brain blast. At least Slavic got letters you can read. At least Indo-European ones. Yeah. Yep. Greek is its own kettle of fish. It's like, it's the same. It's the same. Alpha? Yes. A. Easy. Ooh, okay. Vita? B. No. Vita. It's a V sound. Oh. Gamma? It's like, wait. C? No. Immediately, of course. Much older language too? Yeah. Or some of it goes into English, but then as soon as you realize that there are 26 English letters and there are 24 Greek letters, it's like, oh, wait a second, the maths doesn't quite add up. Confusion. Going back long enough, Slavic and German are both part of the Indo-European language. Yeah, Latin obviously being part of the root as well. And you can see direct influence as well. A classic example is like the word hour in English. Like it has been 1 hour since I've eaten a Kit Kat. Then the equivalent in Greek is ora. It had itan mia ora o titrote en a Kit Kat. It can be pretty one-to-one. Thorn is missing from the English alphabet. TH is a single letter. Yeah. Theta. Most of the modern Norwegian alphabet is largely the same as English. Norwegian has a few extra letters. Yeah, the AE amalgam. That one where they're kind of like mushed together. I think it's like it's the A that looks like this and the E or something. I don't know, whatever. Converted into Y by typesetters. Hence ye olde pub. Yeah, which would be the old pub. Yep. Later just set as TH. Yep. It's so much fun to say ye olde. Speaking of fun, I should get away. I need to take my break. It's been an hour. I'm going to get up. I'm going to move around a little bit, stretch out my joints. I need to do it because I have, through the power of experimentation, figured out that if I take breaks and I hydrate, I feel better as a human being. Crazy. I recommend that you do the same. If you've been sat or laid down for the past hour, I recommend getting up, moving around a little bit, grab some water, hydrate, grab a snack if you're hungry. I'm going to run 3 minutes of ads in the meantime, just so you don't have to deal with pre-rolls and distributed ads and stuff for the rest of stream. I'll see you soon, okay? BRB. Start doing push-ups during my breaks. I should start doing... I don't know, I should do something. I feel like, even though I do my stretches and I feel looser, I feel like I need, I don't know, something a little bit more. and back a little bit early. Hopefully people aren't stuck behind ads the whole time. Positive side of people being stuck behind ads is they can't hear me when I miss my notes. Hi, welcome back. I was just musing as I got back. I should maybe start doing push-ups or something during my breaks. Because I feel like just getting up and walking around a little bit isn't quite enough. Plus, it would help. It would help with getting tired for sleep. Surely. Think you're gonna try to get some sleep? Your cat's actually being chill right now. Gotta capitalize on that. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you, Strider. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for putting up with me in my loopy state. I appreciate it. Look after yourself. Sleep well. Speaking of cat behavior, my cat there's a little narrow bit of wall just before the door to my bedroom. My cat has occupied the small amount of walk room between myself and the door to the room. And as I went to leave to walk around a little bit, she was cowering for her life. I don't understand why she does it. She puts herself in the most precarious situations and then she goes, "No, please." You don't understand. I have a life to live. You've done this yourself. You've put yourself in this situation. Don't blame me for just walking around. Please, sir, please. Mercy for me. Have all the mercy you want. Don't wish to squish you. That seems to help as well. It makes sense. Okay, I'm raising some of the surrounding cliffs a little bit as they surround the tavern. Sorry, correction. As they surround the tavern and get a little bit closer to the perspective, to give the impression of the correct scale, because I feel like it hasn't really been the correct scale up until now. called Health answered no to a lot of questions. She said at the end of it all, based on this, do recommend you seek medical help within the next 4 hours. Sorry, bud. It might be nothing, but it's not something that you should gamble with. It's not something you should gamble with, especially if it's getting worse, especially if it's legit pain. Sorry, I didn't realize I was whistling. My bad, my bad, my bad. I was zoning. Okay. Harley's getting sleepy. Well and truly at this point. So I might start wrapping up a little bit early. Apologies. I was late anyway. It should be ending around this time anyway. I think I'm happy with the rocks over on the left. The rest of the column, a little bit less so. Prepare to exit the tavern. Yeah. This is not a drill. It's not. It's for real. I like the finish on the rocks. I don't think I need to bring that kind of finish to these rocks in the background or that cliff face in the background. I do like the texture that I've added to the background though, because it feels a little bit more like the kind of pseudo texture that you would see. I think if I can bring a bit of this kind of detail into this rock here on the right, good. I like the additional blue that's in the willow here now. Whether it's enough blue, maybe not still. No, I said that I'd leave it. So maybe that could be pushed a little bit further. I do like the raised cliffs a little bit. It gives more of a feeling of encircling the tavern in the way that I want it to. All in all, happy. I'd like to push to get it done this month. I can see it happening, but I need to start making some decisions, like finalize some decisions instead of umming and ahhing. It's looking good though, all things considered. quick question for you, Digi, by the way, before I head off. Do you have a little bit of time after stream? Because I would like to chat for a second about this piece if you had the head for it. I probably should while it's fresh in my brain. But yes, all things considered, given that I was a zombie today, I'm happy with the sense of progress. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Thanks for putting up with me. Have an excellent rest of your day or night, depending on where you are. Look after yourselves. See you again soon. Bye-bye.